Well, hello. Looks like I'm live. So I have a little bit of light and it's going to get kind of grainy because the sun's going down and I don't want to have to pull out my ring light because I'm a little lazy. But today I want to talk to you about body recomposition. So what is body recomposition? That's where you change the composition of your body. So I have never been someone who worked with people on their weight loss, but part of being healthy is having enough muscle on your body. This is really the goal. Of course, when you gain muscle, it can help you to lose fat because you're more metabolically active. And so it's easier to actually change the shape of your body. But I feel that, the goal moving away from wanting to change just the way your body looks to like the way it moves and the way that you feel in it is the direction that I'm heading, and body recomposition definitely fits into that. So let's talk a little bit about how you can bring up the muscle on your body and lower the fat on your body, okay? So if you haven't watched my video on how to do your own measurements and figure out how much of your body is lean mass and how much of your body is mass, please go back and watch that video because it has some very interesting information that you need to know. Because you're going to need to know how much of your body is lean mass to figure out how to recomposition your body. So if your body, for example, is like, let's say you have like 90 pounds of muscle on your body or 100 pounds of muscle on your body, that is the lean mass of your body. It might include, things like bone as well. But that mass that isn't fat is really how you're going to calculate your energy requirements. In other words, how much you need to eat. And it's going to help you figure out how much protein to eat. So if you're trying to, add muscle or add weight, or if you're trying to lose fat or lose weight, then you may want to, for example, go into a caloric deficit. So if you know how much it takes to maintain that lean body mass, you may add, 10% if you're trying to put on some extra muscle, or you may take off, up to 20% deficit if you're trying to reduce. But for most of the time, you just start with the maintenance amount that it takes to maintain your body at that size and that kind of proportion of different fat to muscle and things like that. And then what you want to do is you use the sliding scale of protein depending on how much body fat you have. So if you're really low in body fat, then you're probably going to need a higher amount of protein per pound of lean body weight. If you want a recomposition, meaning if you want to add more muscle and lose more fat, the leaner you already are when you're starting out, the more protein you need to consume to do that. So when you hear bodybuilders talking about having to eat so much protein, they actually do need to eat more protein than the average person if they're going to lean down even further while still maintaining their muscle. If you're a higher body fat percentage, you're not very lean, then you could get away with a lower amount of protein per pound of body weight. So low protein per pound of body weight would be like 1.2 grams per pound, and then higher protein per pound of body weight would be like 1.6 grams per pound if you're very well trained. So most very, very trained people are going to be like a 1.5, and most not very trained people are going to be probably closer to a 1.2. So you might fall somewhere in there like 1.3 or whatever. But just decide if you're kind of at the extreme of, very high body fat or very low body fat, and then fall somewhere between 1.2 and 1.6, depending on that. So if you were like 10% body fat, then that would be like, you would probably be a 1.5, for example. If you're like 20% body fat, then you might be more like a 1.3. Or if you're like 30 to 40% body fat, you might be like more like a 1.2. So the way that you calculate it is you take your pounds of lean body mass and then you times it by your body fat, and that gives you your body fat mass. And then you basically subtract from your lean mass your body fat mass, and that gives you your percentage of lean body mass. So if I'm like 140 pounds times 20% body fat, then that is like 40. What did I think that's like 40 pounds of fat mass, something like that. 40, and anyway, I'm not doing the math right now, but if then I would do 140 minus 40 would be 100 pounds of lean mass, for example. So the total protein for that day, I would take my lean body mass, which is like 100 pounds, and then I would go, because I'm like 20% body fat in this example, then I would do like times 1.3, for example, and then that number, whatever that is, like 200 or something, that would be like the amount of grams of protein that I need to eat that day if I'm going to be recompositioning my body. So that is an example of how much protein you actually need to eat if you want to recomposition your body while actually doing some weightlifting or something like that to assist in the process. So if you're wondering if you're under eating protein, you probably are, if you're trying to do that with your body. If you are strictly trying to, you know, lose weight, or you're strictly trying to just get into better shape, you don't need to actually use this calculation. But for those of you that are interested in doing it, I wanted to make sure that you knew how to do it. So I hope that helps you, and been checking my notes through this to make sure that I get the math right. But hopefully you leave me some comments and let me know if that was clear or if I need to run through it with some examples for you.